Hey everybody, today we shine a spotlight on Ayesha Wharton, and she tells us about some exciting events to celebrate the Caribbean in Beijing. It starts now. And today we're sitting down with Ayesha Wharton, who is the consular to the Embassy of Trinidad and Tobago. Ayesha,
hello, Ayesha.
Say what's up.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you all doing?
Oh, we're great. Like, we see some sun and everything, so we're just happy.
Yes, very, very happy. Yes. So, Ayesha, where are you living in China?
I live in Beijing, this awesome city of Beijing.
All right. Hanging out in the capital.
For how long you've been there?
I've been here, July would make it 3 years that I've been in China, yeah.
3 years. Man, what brought you out here?
Actually, I came as part of a team to establish our embassy here in China. And we came in July 2013. And the embassy was opened in 2014. So, yeah, we came to find a location and get staff and get it all up and running.
That's great. So were you impressed to see the amount of Caribbean people here in Beijing?
Oh, yeah. I was shocked at how many Caribbean nationals and students that are here in Beijing doing really well. I think everybody here there's such a good energy. I was shocked.
Okay. That's what's up.
And I think that number is growing, right?
Yeah, every year. And I know for us, every year, every month, we meet new Trinidad and Tobago nationals who have just learned about the embassy and need to get services and stuff. And it's always exciting because they're like, oh my God, thank God y'all are here now. We haven't, we've been here for X years. And oh yes, I can get now,
Yeah, that's what's up. What made you want to come to China? Because you say you work for the embassy. So how is it working for embassy? Do you have like a choice of where you can go, or did you want to come to China?
Excellent question. So everybody's foreign service is different. And in the Trinidad and Tobago foreign service, we don't really have, as a foreign service officer, which is what I am, we don't have like a choice per se. Of course, in life, you always have a choice.
That's very wise. That's very wise word.
Yep.
So, there's the rules of the job. And then, of course, I can choose whether or not I'm going to just take what I've been presented with. But I have been blessed with the opportunity. First, I was the desk officer for China for quite a few years back in Trinidad and Tobago before going to South Africa for a few years. I was also desk officer for South Africa.
Oh, you're in South Africa.
It became...
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, that was excellent. And after that, they said, oh, why don't you go to China? And I was like, but there's nothing in China. And they're like, well, you and a few other people, we want you all to start it. So I think for me, it wasn't as much of a choice as in it was part of God's plan for my life, I think. So I really wanted to be, it flowed naturally for what I was doing at work and for where I'm supposed to be, I think.
Okay, but when you came there, what is the perception, the Chinese perception of the Caribbean or Trinidad and Tobago? Do they even know where is Trinidad and Tobago?
People don't really know very much. It depends on who you're speaking to. And the perception, if they do know, we have a growing number of people going to, first of all, we have a huge, relatively significant Chinese population in Trinidad and Tobago historically. So we've had migration coming for indentured servants and from China to Trinidad and Tobago. So there's that. But then you also have of late, you have a new wave of construction workers, restaurant owners, people in the energy field going. But that's a certain segment. I mean, China is huge. We know it's like, so there's so many people here. So when you come to the general population, most people don't know where, like, we are or who we are.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Most times people think that I'm from Africa.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Well, somebody asked me how far Atlanta was from Africa, so
At that point.
that's the thing. Yeah. I think the skin gives it away.
So from those Caribbean embassies, what kind of event you doing to promote your country?
This is a very special year because it's the China, Latin American, and Caribbean Cultural Exchange year. So we have a number of events that are coming up.
Okay.
That because it's so there's such a lack of information about the Caribbean in the general population here in China. We want to raise that awareness, especially because of culture. And we think culture is an excellent bridge because people love food. I mean, Chinese people love food. I love food. I don't know about you.
We all love food.
You know, I love Caribbean food and music. And what we have coming up this weekend, we have a music festival, the Latin American and Caribbean Music Festival. And we have a food festival, both at the same time. So we're really excited. And then we have a film festival happening the following weekend. And these things, we chose food and film and music, and we also have visual arts coming up and a photo exhibition. But we chose these things specifically because we want to give people an opportunity to taste the Caribbean, to experience the Caribbean, and to feel as if you're there and thereby connect with the Caribbean.
Let's talk about the most important one and the first one, which is the food festival. Can you tell us when exactly it's going to be and what type of food we can experience there?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. It's April 30th to May 2nd. And you're going to get food from 7 different countries. We're flying into chefs who are very, very well known, award-winning. One is an award-winning Michelin chef, and one is a celebrity chef who's worked with the likes of Denzel Washington and Enrique Iglesias. So we're getting proper chefs to come and cook authentic meals from all 7 countries who are involved in this. So we have food from Jamaica, from Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Barbados, Suriname, Grenada, and
somebody's missing?
Bahamas.
Bahamas, yeah.
All right, that's what's up, man. Well, if it's good enough for Denzel, I think it'll be good enough for me.
So let's talk about the film festival now. I am not familiar with any movies from Trinidad and Tobago. So can you talk about it a little bit more?
Sure, yeah. Actually, a lot of people may not be aware that there's a burgeoning and vibrant film industry in the Caribbean that has been cultivated since the 1970s. So in 1970, the first indigenous feature film in the English-speaking Caribbean was actually filmed in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's called The Right and the Wrong. And it was followed soon thereafter by Jamaica's first feature film, which is called The Harder They Come, and it's about the reggae industry and features Jimmy Cliff.
Interesting. Jimmy Cliff, like old school guy. Yeah.
So one of the reasons why we're having the film festival is to showcase films such as these and films that go into showcase different aspects of culture and society within the Caribbean. So another film that we're going to look at is called Chinese Girl, and it's about Chinese women in Trinidad and Tobago. So, so we have a mix of documentaries and feature films, but it's really to just give an idea of who we are in the Caribbean and give the audience a visual image to put to mind when after they've already tasted the Caribbean, and heard the Caribbean, you now can see the Caribbean.
This episode was brought to you by Madame Shea. Do you want your hair to be healthier, longer, and stronger? Now, thanks to Madame Shea, it can be. Madame Shea is an all-natural hair care company that ships to virtually every province in mainland China. Madame Shea's products are all natural and paraben and sulfate-free, ranging from hair oil to cleansers and conditioners. For more information, head to the website madameshea.co or go to Madame Shea's Wechat at madameshea, MADAMESHEA. Let her know that you heard about it from the No Name podcast for special discounts on your next order with the promo code MadameShea10. Madame Shea, hair care au naturel.
Thanks for checking out another episode of the No Name Podcast, or NNP. We value our platform and are working to bring you the best show possible. Now you can help make that happen. If you like what you've heard or have an idea to make it better, feel free to follow us on Wechat, Twitter, and Instagram at bizunsasha, BIZUNSASHA, and tell us what you think. Or you can send us an email at nonamepodcast123@gmail.com. NNP, many voices, one sound. Peace. So I want to kind of go back to what you were saying before about how you spent some time in South Africa before you came here in China. I've heard that, working at the embassy, it gives you a lot of opportunities for travel. So are those one of the reasons why you decided to start working at the embassy?
Oh, yeah. I love traveling. I absolutely love traveling. I think it's something that everybody should do, at least for a year. Like, leave your home country, wherever you're from, and go to a new place. Because it just opens your mind. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed South Africa.
What was it like working there?
It's such a beautiful society, yet complicated because of the history. And one of the things I really enjoyed about South Africa is really coming into its own. So you could be a part of a society that's coming to terms with its past and trying to create a new future. And the discussion that you'd get in, like, you'd be privy to, it's very unique because it's a democracy and they're trying to heal from the past and just address some of those issues that apartheid left. And it's coming into a lot of, economic growth. And so it's just a fascinating society.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I was also wanting to ask you something. Like you said from Trinidad and Tobago, and Trinidad and Tobago is mostly, I'm assuming, is mostly a black country. And when you went to South Africa, it's still like it's Africa, but it's a very mixed countries. But then when you come here to China, it's mostly, how do I say this? Homogenous. That's the word. Mm-hmm. That's the word I'm going to use. What was your experience like going through those three different cultures? Yeah,
well, actually, Trinidad and Tobago is a very multi-ethnic society.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How so?
Yeah, majority Indian population.
That's weird, because normally, like, when you think of Caribbean, like, I don't know, for us, like in the States, it's you think of like black people.
Yeah, and one of the things I learned in South Africa, so East Indian indentured servants came through the Western Cape, stopped off in Mauritius, and then passed the Cape of Good Hope and went to the West Indies. And went to Guyana, went to Trinidad and Tobago, and a few other islands, a few in Jamaica as well. But Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago have significant East Indian populations as a result of that. And then one person I met actually just before apartheid, well, just as apartheid was coming into its own strength at the time, their great-grandfather there was a brother who was in Mauritius who got sent to South Africa, and then another brother that went to Trinidad. So the family, they were planning a reunion for the first time and meeting this family that had gone through apartheid, and whilst the other brother's family was living in Trinidad. So it was just very interesting.
That's the idea for a movie.
Yeah.
It definitely is. A lot of locations you'd have to use. But.
Yeah. But to answer your question about coming to China, after living in such a multi-ethnic, like different aspects of race coming towards you, especially a place like South Africa where you have to deal with apartheid and race and racism, coming to China where there's a different take on race and race issues here, I find the Chinese very, very open and at the same time very like, you're a funny looking thing sometimes. So they kind of like, I've experienced someone rubbing my colleague's skin but not in the same malicious way that I have experienced racism elsewhere. So I think coming here, I would say it's taught me a different aspect because everybody's is so homogenous here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People look at you strange, and it gives you a great opportunity to be their quote unquote first black person that they see. Because
what do you mean?
Because quite a few people may never have seen someone who looks like you, and it's like an opportunity to be an ambassador in your own right and define what it means to be black, because they just see the surface, right?
Yeah,
because it's just so homogenous, you stand out immediately, and it's either you want to try and engage with them, or you at times you're like, well, I just can't take the staring and all this other stuff, so I'm just gonna zone out. But I think it's a great experience.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys in a different country from the Caribbean, different island and everything, you trying to have a different strategy? I'm asking this question because for them, they're saying Caribbean. Maybe for them, Caribbean is homogeneous also, and for maybe they don't distinct Jamaica and Barbados and everything. So how you guys can stand up for yourself? Like what's the strategy for this?
Yeah, because they just figured out Africa was a continent, not a country. And there's still a couple of them who haven't really gotten the memo. So.
That is such a thought-provoking question. And I think it's something that we, as Caribbean embassies here especially, are constantly dealing with. It's a challenge that we constantly deal with because we are similar but different, and that's one of the things that will be highlighted in these upcoming food festival, music festival, and the film festival, because a lot of times like the food may be similar from different islands, but it's very unique. So you have jerk that you're not going to get anywhere else but in Jamaica. You have, pepper pot, specific curry that you're not going to find because the spices are different from Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. So that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons why we're having the festival. So you can see, oh yes, we're connected by the Caribbean Sea. We're connected by a common history, but we each have our own significant and unique identity. I mean, and one of the things I really want to stress, the Caribbean is so tiny, especially when you compare it to places like China. Yeah. We continually punch above our weight. I mean, that metaphor for me, it comes into my life because I'm a short woman. And I think about it whenever I'm thinking about the region, because you think, oh my gosh, they're so tiny. We're not even Chaoyang Park. I mean, we're not even Chaoyang District, sorry.
Wow.
We have 6 million people in all of the British, the English-speaking Caribbean. The wider Caribbean, I would have to check the data, but I mean, it's like so tiny compared to places like China. But we have such great, amazing firsts and cultural icons, and I mean, the invention of reggae, the invention of soca, the steel pan came from Trinidad and Tobago. You have things that came out of this tiny one or two islands, and at the time it wasn't even millions of people you were talking about. Yet it's impacted and changed the entire world. So I think in some ways it's so true that size sometimes really doesn't matter.
So it sounds really interesting, and I would like maybe you can share a little secret or a highlight of this festival, because you say first part is going to be food festival, second one is going to be film festival, third one, what we can expect.
So the film festival is May 6th to 8th at the Instituto Cervantes. And you're going to see a wide variety of films from 4 different Caribbean countries, and it's free. And it's definitely something you want to be able to come out and enjoy. It will really just showcase Caribbean talent.
For sure.
Definitely. That's what's up. So one more thing before we go. What's some advice you would want to give a young Trinidadian that's here in China and is trying to make their way here in Asia?
First, I would say be very open and willing to... I mean, if you've already taken the decision to come out to China, all the way from Trinidad and Tobago, then you are very special. And you should embrace that uniqueness and embrace the journey that you've just started, because it will change your life. And just continue to pursue that love of foreign cultures and just embrace and learn the language. First off, learn the language. The more you can speak, the better, the more you can get acclimatized to living in China.
That's what's up. All right, Ayesha Wharton, where can we meet? Where can we find you?
I'm at the Liang Machao at the embassy. The embassy is located very close to the U.S. embassy.
Oh, okay.
And it's at exit B of the Liang Machao subway stop.
All right. And where can they find you on any social media platforms?
I'm on Wechat at Ayesha Wharton. That's about it.
Okay.
Right.
We can find information about the event somewhere?
If you want tickets for the food festival, you can get tickets from the Marriott at 133-1113-9758.
All right. Thank you so much, Ayesha.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye.
Bye.